68.8. Smooth tunes and fast deliveries.
You're tuned in to DELI FM 68.8. This is your host, Buzz Shipmann. A quick note from the Deliverance Parking Enforcement. Residents are reminded not to leave their delis unattended in front of City Hall overnight. Last night, someone left a Platinum Deli parked on a yellow line, and it ended up being mistaken for a commemorative statue. Again, the mayor held a ribbon cutting and everything. City funds were spent, speeches were made, and then it fucking blinked and ran off. So please be responsible, folks. And remember that parking violations now carry a fine of up to 420 million deliver tokens, or, of course, one compliment about Radix's roadmap. So it's your choice whether you want to take that risk. All right, stay tuned for more news, and don't be a dummy. Rub my tummy.
This is DELI FM 68.8, where unlike your portfolio, we deliver.
Scream and Cream. This sweet, sweet ice cream is a meltdown in a cone. One lick and you'll never want a short again. Gian Scream and Cream. Lick it or get the fuck out. Try the all-new blue cheese flavor.
All right, folks, bit of infrastructure news. Deliverance City Council has just approved a budget to finally fix the lag in Fiberloop Street. Apparently, transactions on that road have been pending for 3 months. Council blamed the delay on, quote, unexpected Cerberus tangling, which, as you know, is the third most common cause behind developer burnout and Mercury and Gatorade. So until repairs are done, you can detour through next Epoch Lane. Just mind the potholes and occasional wild red dicks, stampede, of course. We'll keep you posted, though, so don't you worry. This next song is called Never Sold, Just Cried by the legendary Phil Ledger. Let's listen in. This is Buzz Shipmann, 68.8. Shout out to the Deliver Telegram, you fuckers. We've got a little lost and found bulletin this morning. Someone dropped a full cold wallet in Lambeau Lane. Contents include 20 million Deliver tokens, a half-eaten red sausage with 2 balls, that kind of rings a bell, and a hand-scrolled note that says, quote, Piers was right. If this is yours, maybe just don't come and claim it. They've already burnt the sausage, and frankly, the community is just not ready to read that sentence again. Stay safe out there, and if you're missing hope or direction, check the alley behind Delay Park. There's usually some lying around. This is DELI FM, 68.8. We believe in Dan Hughes.
You're listening to DELI FM, where we deliver everything, except for that fucking seed phrase that you lost.
piece of music by Rhonda Rockpool. You're tuned in to 68.8. Reminder to all residents, this Friday is the opening of the Deliverance Community Art Show held inside the old Radland Radish Square Conference Room. Featured exhibits include Liquidity Pool in Tears by Glass Deli 3492, Transaction Fees A Love Story by Gold Deli 4822, and a really controversial performance piece titled Locked Liquidity, Please Let Me Out. Entry is free, but please don't tap the frames. They're already emotionally unstable. That includes the art and the artists. Like, the whole building is about to fucking collapse anyway. Don't spend too much time staring, okay?
Are you looking to unload those NFTs gathering digital dust? Head on down to Radish Square, Radix's premium and only slightly abandoned NFT marketplace. Sure, delights flicker, and nobody's dusted since November 2021. But people swear by it. Bring your delis, leave with regrets. Just make sure to ignore the other deli collection that's in there for some reason. Radish Square, where every NFT tells a story, mostly cautionary.
You're listening to DELI FM, and you're really good at it.
68.8. Quick finance tip from your friends here at DELI FM. If your portfolio dips below the cost of the gas it took to open your wallet, it might be time to consider alternative investments like canned beans, or emotional support frogs, or locally forged deli bottle caps. Because remember, in Deliverance, every financial decision is technically performance art, so throw those charts out the window and invest in what truly matters, a cardboard box with angry eyes and a fuck you attitude. That's my advice. What's yours? Let us know by texting 0800 Rug Me Hard, puppy.
You're tuned in to DELI FM. Wow, you're so smart.
Ever wake up in a panic because your package is on Delay Street? Fear not. At Deliver, we cut through traffic jams like a forklift through wet cardboard. Sure, our cargo door might get stuck now and then, but who needs perfection when you have a fucking green box for a mascot? Deliver. We deliver, sort of.
buzz? Shipmann here. Quick warehouse safety alert. DELI wants to remind all employees, and we use that word very loosely, not to lean against crate wall beta. It's currently being held together by one roll of Radix branded duct tape and a single promise made by a community mod in 2022. So anyone crushed by falling NFTs will not be compensated unless they can correctly recite the Cerberus white paper from memory, backwards. If you do survive the collapse, congrats, you've just unlocked the ecosystem's new testnet hero role on Discord. T-shirt not included. So yeah, stay safe out there, folks.
You're tuned in to DELI FM, where we deliver what you never asked for, which is still better than what you got. Just take a look at your portfolio. What the fuck were you thinking?
This one is called Look Me In One More Time by Ricky Restake. A slow, sensual tribute to staking rewards you'll see but never actually feel. Speaking of Ricky, folks, quick update from the Deliverance night market. Ricky was spotted selling autographed LPs and unsolicited staking advice behind the food trucks again. He claims each record comes with a, quote, guaranteed APR, but sources say the guarantee was handwritten in crayon and immediately smudged by some kebab sauce. So approach with caution or just nod politely and walk faster.
You're listening to DELI FM. We don't give a fuck either.
That was 404 Emotions Not Found by Tina Testnet. Quick reminder, Radix has officially entered what they're calling the pre-post hyperscale ramp-up cycle. What that means, nobody knows. Developers say the upgrade is going great. They just need, quote, a few more test nets and a little more caffeine and slightly fewer humans asking when marketing. Meanwhile, the rest of us are still using Babylon, which, is like being told your pizza's on the way while watching the delivery guy install a new oven in another city. But it's okay. I mean, hyperscale's coming soon, so it's coming.
DELI FM, home of infinite scalability. As soon as we figure out what that means.
Feeling stuck in life? Is your crypto investment feeling stagnant like Radix's price? Then you need Hyperscale Cream. Just one application and you'll be scaling infinitely. Results expected within a decade. Side effects include optimism, patience, a red dick, and occasional disappointment.
Buzz Shipmann, 68.8 DELI FM. In wallet-related news, Radix engineers are now focusing full-time on implementing dark mode. That's right, folks. 10 years of R&D, millions in funding, and now color inversion. Hell yeah. When asked why it's taken so long, the dev blamed, quote, complexity, security, and something about Dan's keyboard being sticky. No ETA on actual delivery, but you'll know when it's live when your screen finally matches your mood. So stay tuned. With this beautiful piece by Faye Fawcett called Dripping Liquidity. Let's listen in.
DELI FM 68.8. Just shut up and listen.
We got some breaking news, folks. The Radix Foundation has announced their last roadmap update, now available exclusively as a limited edition 12-part interpretive dance series, each movement representing a delayed milestone, culminating in the final act, the Fall of Peers. Viewings are invitation only and take place deep within StokeNet, assuming you can fucking load it. Bring snacks and coping mechanisms. Duration is unknown. Audience participation mandatory. Buzz Shipmann, 68.8. This one's called Cerberus Jazz by Matthew Penis. In local tech news, the Radix-powered soda machines at City Hall are down again. Reports say every coin inserted triggers a governance vote, and no one can agree on what drink to dispense. Until resolved, the machines will only output lukewarm multi-factor aid. Please plan accordingly and hydrate somewhere less democratic, because those fucking things always break all the time.
DELI FM. Better than sax sometimes.
Planning a big move? Trust Delay Away, Delay Away Movers. Unlike other services, we promise to get your stuff delivered quicker than the Radix Roadmat update. With Delay Away, your belongings won't vanish for more than a decade. Mention DELI FM for a 69% discount.
You're tuned in to DELI FM. Keep your tokens close and your day job even closer, you idiot.
This is Buzz Shipmann. You're listening to DELI FM by Deliver. Local update from Hug Street. Turns out the Hug mascot has been stuck in a hugging loop with a tree near community center since Tuesday. Officials say it's not a bug, it's, quote, part of the branding. Children are encouraged to approach with snacks or soft encouragement. Just don't get too close. Last week, it accidentally hugged someone's seed phrase right out of their memory and then bridged a nearby park bench to fucking Solana. So please hug responsibly, okay? This is DELI FM 68.8. And here's a beautiful piece of music that hits you right in the kidney. Let's listen in. That was Composable Hearts, parentheses, on Ice by Carlos Composability. This is Buzz Shipmann. In a bit more Radix news, the Xeon upgrade is apparently entering its final pre-alpha reverse launch test loop phase. Sources say they're 99% there, which is exactly what they said during Babylon, and Olympia, and BetaNet. But sure, this time the math checks out. Just don't ask what year it is or why Dan's parked outside City Hall whispering to his consensus protocol again, okay?
You're listening to DELI FM on 68.8. Because sometimes a stable signal is your only real asset.
Attention Deliverance residents. Hungry for gains? Stop by the Babylon Bistro, home of the Ridyard Special, a burger so promising you'll think it's going places, but somehow ends up leaving a bad taste in your mouth. Now available for just under 1 cent.
This is Buzz Shipmann, DELI FM, sponsored by Deliver. And if you haven't heard yet, folks, the city of Deliverance is once again under siege by the early cult. Just this morning, the early cult members wheat-pasted 500 laser-eyed Pierce heads across City Hall and installed a speaker loop blasting "You're Still Early" in 8-bit autotune. Local authorities attempted to intervene, but were stopped by a gif of Early Dev wearing a red football shirt, rapidly extending and contracting his fucking Diglett-looking 2-foot-long schlong above grass, projected holographically onto the mayor's face. The new Pierce Rugyard NFT drop has also gone live. Some of those unholy creations featuring warped, liquefied versions of Pierce's ginger fucking face mid-promise. Another one featuring his prominent crow's feet caused by years of screaming the word bullish while the XRD chart bled like a nose after a handstand. That particular piece recently sold for $7 million early and a bottle of cum. So if you see any of the early cult members in the city, immediately avoid their laser eye contact and text local police at 0800 Suck My Diglett.
This is DELI FM 68.8. We'll make you think you're a crypto expert.
This is Buzz Shipmann, DELI FM, sponsored by Deliver, the only asset in your wallet right now not actively vomiting. In breaking news, the market has face-planted harder than a testnet on launch day. Ethereum is now fucking $1,400. What the fuck? Bitcoin's clinging to 75K like your uncle clings to 2017 ICO flyers. And across Deliverance, residents are seen frantically checking wallets, blinking slowly and muttering, quote, "It's just a correction," like it's a fucking prayer. Meanwhile, Radix is sitting on their 0.7 cents again. But hey, it's comfy down there. We got snacks. In another medical news, please be advised, local therapists are overbooked. The Trove servers are smoking and 3 delis just rage-yeeted themselves into the sea. If you feel like jumping into a liquidity pool full of toxic deli goo, don't. Just sit down, breathe, wait 4 years, do some squats, I don't know. DELI FM 68.8, this is Buzz Shipman. You're tuned into the next piece of music that sounds exactly like the other ones. Enjoy.
You're locked into DELI FM 68.8, the station your mother warned you about and your dad secretly listens to.
This next tune is brought to you by our good friends at Delay Begone Spray. Just one spritz of your favorite Radix developer and watch deadlines magically reappear. Effectiveness may vary depending on developers' optimism levels. Use caution when spraying and keep away from Piers Rid Yard.
Okay. Hey, folks, this is Buzz Shipman 68.8. We interrupt this jingle to bring you a very special announcement from our warehouse manager and emotional support liability, DELI. Here he is on the line.
Hey, it's me, DELI. I just can't believe it. Ethereum is, what, $1,400? 15? Bitcoin's free falling like a community grant application. My forklift is crying, and I just watched someone try to sell a cheese deli for 3 cents and a goddamn hug. We just had to pull 3 traders out of the air vents, and then they tried to liquidate their feelings. One of them brought up XRP on, ironically, and now he's in holding.
Oh, Jesus.
I haven't slept since Babylon launched. The cargo door is jammed again, and someone taped a printout of the XRD price to it. I don't know what that means, but I think it won't open until sentiment improves. Stop refreshing the charts. You're not gonna feel better. Just go outside. Touch a snail or something. Eat cardboard. Remember you're alive. I don't know.
All right, that's enough, dude. We'll be back after this.
You're listening to DELI FM. delivering music more consistent than any roadmap.
And we're back. This is Buzz Shipmann, 68.8 DELI FM. So anyway, a beautiful piece of music by Freddie Gaslight called You're Still Early, Baby. Real nice. Let's switch gears a little bit, shall we? The birds are chirping, the sun is out, and the local Deliverance Knitting Club just announced they've completed a full crochet replica of the Xi'an upgrade. That's right. It's 3 meters wide, it leaks slightly, and it's held together entirely by Hope and unpaid interns. They'll be displaying it down at the Radix Square this weekend, assuming the scaffolding holds. So bring your family, bring your expectations, just don't get them too high, of course. And that's about it. Back to the music. This one's called Let's Launch Tonight by Marlon Mainnet. Let's listen ahead.
The next 5 minutes is sponsored by Shardwell Vitamins. Guaranteed to boost your scalability. Now available in gummies. Choose between strawberry, vanilla, and cum. Available in the local store near you.
You're listening to DELI FM. Shipping music to disappoint your parents by.
Beautiful. Quick PSA to pet owners, please stop letting your delis mate with the town's robotic Roombas. Animal control has already intercepted 6 box Roomba hybrids roaming the streets. And they're extremely fast, extremely horny, and extremely non-biodegradable. One of them was last seen chasing a Radix plushie down Sharspace Avenue, which is understandable. I would suck that thing all day. But if yours escapes, please don't lie and say it's just part of the protocol. We've heard that before. Take care of it.
This is DELI FM 68.8. Don't worry, 0 rug pulls on this frequency.
GN Auto Repair. Engine troubles get you feeling sharded? Visit GN Auto Repair, home of the patented Cerberus engine tune-up. Our mechanics promise linear scalability to your speedometer, unless you drive on Radix Road, of course. GN Auto Repair, because infinite scalability shouldn't stop at your blockchain.
You're on DELI FM 68.8. Delivering clarity, because that one dev team sure fucking can.
That was Slipped on Delay Street by Benny Bridges. A real toe tapper, especially if your toes are tied to a failed validator node. In local economic news, residents are outraged after receiving their new utility bills priced in XRD. The water department claims it's a, quote, forward-thinking crypto integration, but all it did was remind everyone that their bags are worth less than 3 grapes and a shoe coupon. One resident tried to pay in Radix currency, but the invoice immediately turned into a gif of Gary screaming underwater. Radix has responded with a statement, quote, "We'll look into it, full stop, soon, full stop." We'll be back after this.
You're tuned in to DELI FM. Keep your tokens close and your day job even closer, you idiot.
listening to 68.8 DELI FM. This is Buzz Ship, and as usual, got some great news. The annual Deliverance Summer Festival is back on. This year's theme, Total Liquidity Breakdown. Activities include the tokenomic dunk tank, a build-your-own-node sandbox for kids, and now the infamous, of course, Slippage Slip and Slide, sponsored this year by Ethereum, because apparently they know a thing or two about fucking falling. Legal disclaimer, the slide is wet, unstable, and prone to reversing your transactions. However, first 50 attendees get a free poncho and a mystery airdrop they'll never be able to claim. And yes, the DJ will be playing I Sharded on repeat until someone confesses to licking the mayor's feet behind the OC swap tent. You know who you are. Tickets are available at deliverxrd.com.
You're listening to DELI FM on 68.8. Because sometimes a stable signal is your only real asset.
Looking for love in a locked liquidity pool? Try NODR, Deliverance's hottest new dating app for validators, stakers, and emotionally unavailable token holders. Swipe left for slashed uptime, swipe right for cock. Our algorithm matches you based on block finality, DAV loyalty, and preferred fork length. NODR, because sometimes the only thing lonelier than your wallet is your heart.
It's actually pronounced Noder, but whatever.
This is DELI FM 68.8. We'll make you think you're a crypto expert.
This is DELI FM 68.8. Quick infrastructure update. City Council has officially renamed Soon Street to definitely not fucking Soon Street. This comes after residents filed 420 separate complaints about misleading delivery expectations. New signage is made entirely of unclaimed testnet tokens and lights up only when the roadmap shifts. So please update your GPS or just don't drive down there at all. This next song is called Merge My Soul by Jasmine Forks. Let's head ahead.
locked in to DELI FM 68.8, the station your mother warned you about and your dad secretly listens to.
Beautiful. That was Midnight Gas Fee by Phil Ledger. A bit of a news here, folks. Situation at the Deliver warehouse has escalated. The forklift that previously gained sanctions is now demanding a salary, stock options, and the removal of all Radix stickers from its frame. DELI tried reasoning with it, but it responded with stacking boxes in the shape of the Ethereum logo and whispering, quote, "I remember when you were 4K," unquote. If anyone knows how to exorcise a DeFi ghost from heavy machinery, text 0800 fork me deep. And I'll talk to you right after this one on DELI FM.
You're listening to DELI FM, delivering music more consistent than any roadmap. Seed Phrase Swing by Gina Wallet. You're
tuned in to DELI FM 68.8. Deliverance History Museum has opened a new exhibit, Radix, The First 12 Delays. Guests can explore interactive timelines, emotionally charged whiteboards, and an immersive 4D simulation of waiting for the Xi'an upgrade in real time. One of the rooms just plays old Pierce quotes at you while your portfolio melts. Apparently, it's very moving. Entry is free, but leaving costs 12,000 XRD and your last shred of composure. And as usual, tickets are available at deliverxrd.com.
You're listening to DELI FM. Shipping music to disappoint your parents by.
Saturday night just got sharded. Head on down to the all-new Cerberus roller rig, where finality means velocity, and the only consensus is fall down hard. Skate rentals provided by OC Swap. Rank stacks provided by Xi'an Scream and Cream. Bring your own helmet or rent a fully composable headpiece for just $2 million deliver and a broken promise. Warning, due to technical constraints, the left lane only loops back to beta. Cerberus roller rink. We scale knees.
This is DELI FM 68.8. Don't worry, 0 rug pulls on this frequency.
DELI FM 68.8. Turns out we got another incident report, folks. Liquid DELI 0819 this time has broken into Radix HQ, allegedly to improve liquidity. Security cameras caught it sliding under doors, entering wallets, and licking a validator node for reasons unknown. The node has since decommissioned itself. If you see a Liquid DELI in public, please approach with caution and probably a mop.
DELI FM. Better than sex sometimes.
This is 68.8 DELI FM. Here's a new one, folks. Quick community bulletin. The Deliverance Emotional Support Group for developers who launched too early will meet tonight at the Old Beta Testing Center. Free refreshments include black coffee, beta rage, and a complimentary hoodie that just says it worked on testnet. Guest speaker is a former dev who accidentally bridged to nowhere and hasn't blinked in 4 weeks. All are welcome, no judgment, plenty of shared suffering to go. So just go ahead and come on over.
DELI FM, home of infinite scalability. As soon as we figure out what that means.
Listening to DELI FM 68.8. That was, of course, Composable Trash Dreams by Dominic DAO. City Sanitation would like to remind all residents, do not dispose of failed NFT projects in your regular garbage bins. These must be placed strictly in the designated Hope recycling units next to Delay Park. Also, whoever keeps stuffing used liquidity into the compost, please stop immediately. The raccoons are raw dogging each other for governance rights and using it as lube.
This ad is brought to you by Dr. Stakemann's Decentralized Dentistry, now open in downtown Deliverance. At Stakemann's, every tooth cleaning is recorded on-chain and every cavity gets filled with, well, hope. No insurance? No problem. We accept Deliver tokens, used NFTs, and Tears of Regret from the Mist pre-sale. Mention DELI FM and get a free exam by your AI hygienist, powered entirely by rage quits from failed validator nodes. Dr. Stakemann's, where your mouth gets rugged before your wad does.
You're tuned in to DELI FM. Wow, you're so smart.
Song by the legendary I can't fucking remember. Bit of an update from the WoWo token community. That's Wonder Woman with the large tits. They're still trying to figure out where she disappeared to. Last seen vanishing into the blueprint background of her own NFT collection, she left behind a cryptic message, quote, "Don't trust anything without gas." A shrine has been built near Radix Square using old chat screenshots and unclaimed staking rewards. Candlelight vigils every Friday. It's BYOT, that's bring your own tissues. Not for crying, of course. And lotion, if you're into that. But we definitely wonder where she is. That was Please Let Me Fork You, parentheses, softly, by Harmony D. Fiver. A true classic for anyone who's ever had the roadmap ghost them mid-sentence. Quick update from the Deliverance Observatory. Radix devs have confirmed we are now in what they're calling the pre-final actualization stage of the hyperscale test. No actual fucking clue what that is, but the testnet gods are angry and the simulation smells like burnt rust and disappointment. Meanwhile, the Radix whales are pumping gas into a new liquidity pool shaped like a nutsack. Hug launched an NFT of itself hugging its own floor price, and early cult members were last seen shoving Piers Rudyard tokens into a cursed validator node while chanting "When is now?" In other news, a toxic deli exploded outside GN Auto Repair, and someone's staking cheese again. The Trove dev team hasn't slept in 6 days, and one of them actually legally married a Galaxy Deli to keep it from being bridged to Ethereum, which kind of makes sense. Regarding Radix, the wallet works, the fees are low, the dreams are high, and somewhere, deep in the city's underfunded soul, Dan Hughes is staring into the void, whispering, "We are close." Let's just hope for the best. You're tuned in to 68.8 DELI FM, where time is fake, composability is sexual, and Radix might just deliver.